Something happened on live television earlier this year that stopped audiences completely in their tracks. The hosts weren't laughing. The audience wasn't clapping. And Kelly Ripa, one of the most composed, quick-witted women in daytime television, was visibly trying to hold herself together. What unfolded in that moment wasn't scripted. It wasn't planned. And it reminded the world exactly why this couple has captured hearts for nearly 3 decades. This is the story of Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos and the year that changed their family forever. When people talk about Hollywood couples, they usually mean glamour, red carpets, and carefully curated public images. But Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have always been something different, something more real. Since the moment they met on the set of All My Children back in 1995 and shocked everyone by eloping in Las Vegas just a year later, these two have never really played by Hollywood's rulebook. For years, Kelly ruled daytime television alongside Regis Philbin, then Ryan Seacrest, building one of the most beloved talk show legacies in American entertainment history. And when Live with Kelly and Mark launched with Mark officially stepping in as co-host, fans immediately understood why. The chemistry was undeniable. The banter was electric. The love story was real. But in 2026, that love story was put through tests that no amount of television experience could have prepared them for. To understand this moment, you have to understand who this family really is. Kelly Ripa, 55, has spent decades at the center of American pop culture. She's sharp, warm, funny, and fiercely loyal. Mark Consuelos, also 55, is the quiet strength behind the duo. The actor, the husband, the father, the man who makes Kelly laugh harder than anyone else in the room. Together, they built something rare in Hollywood, a marriage that lasted. Through the chaos of fame, the demands of television, and the wild ride of raising 3 kids in New York City, Kelly and Mark created a family that feels both aspirational and deeply relatable. Their eldest son, Michael, now 28, followed his parents into entertainment, working as a TV producer behind the scenes on hit reality shows. Their daughter, Lola, 24, has been carving out her own artistic path, and in December 2025, she released her debut EP titled Sorry. It's all about me, a bold, personal collection that marked her official arrival as a solo artist. And their youngest, Joaquin, just 23, graduated from the University of Michigan's prestigious School of Music, Theater, and Dance in 2025, a milestone Kelly couldn't stop talking about on Live, joking that Joaquin was their newborn baby and they were absolutely not ready to let him go. But then something extraordinary happened. Just when fans thought the Consuelos family chapter was settling into a new and quieter rhythm, life delivered a moment of profound grief. On April 6, 2026, Mark returned to the live studio after spring break. He sat beside Kelly as he always does, and quietly, with the kind of calm that only comes from true strength, he shared news that brought the entire studio to a standstill. Mark revealed that his father, Saul Consuelos, had passed away in March after a long illness. 2 weeks ago today, my father passed away peacefully, he told the audience, with Kelly leaning over, steady and present beside him, the way she always is. Hello. What followed was one of the most genuinely moving moments in Liv's long history. Kelly, visibly emotional, described her father-in-law as a fascinating man, someone she had known for 31 years of her life. I can honestly say I will miss him every day for the rest of my life, she said. As I know you will. As our children will. Hello. There was no commercial break to ease the weight of it. No pivot to a lighter topic. Just 2 people on national television doing what they've always done, being honest with their audience. But that wasn't the end of the story. Even in the midst of grief, Mark was in the middle of rehearsals for his Broadway debut in Fallen Angels, the Noel Coward revival. He called the production a welcome distraction, something that gave him a place to pour his energy during the hardest days. I knew I had to keep on going, he said quietly. I know he's there watching. Hello. And if you weren't already reaching for tissues, just wait. Social media lit up. Entertainment outlets rushed to cover the moment. But what stood out wasn't the glamour of the Tonys, or the celebrity spotlight. It was the meaning of it all. Here was a family that had walked through grief, celebrated new beginnings, launched music careers, and made Broadway history, all in the span of a single year. And through all of it, they kept showing up. On television every morning, on red carpets, on stage, for their audience, for each other, for their kids. Comment sections were flooded with messages from fans who said the Ripa Consuelos family reminded them of their own. Imperfect, evolving, loving, and real. This is what family actually looks like, one viewer wrote. And honestly, it's hard to argue with that. Mark's mother, Camilla, has also become part of the conversation. On air, Mark joked that he was trying to convince his mother to move to New York, even pitching a Cooking with Camilla segment to their producer, a light-hearted moment that showed how this family turns even difficult transitions into something warm and community-facing. Hello. What makes this family story resonate so deeply isn't the fame. It's the vulnerability. Kelly ended that April morning on Live by turning to Mark and saying simply, "You're the strongest person I know. You continually inspire me every day." Hello. No script. No teleprompter. Just a wife telling her husband the truth in front of millions of people. And Mark, who has spent decades playing tough characters on screen, sat there and received it with the quiet grace of a man who has learned, through love, through loss, through life, what really matters. This is a couple that has openly talked about using Live with Kelly and Mark as a genuine space to process the highs and lows of marriage. They've been honest about hard seasons, about growing together, about choosing each other every single day. In a media landscape full of carefully filtered celebrity relationships, that kind of transparency is genuinely rare. And the audience feels it. That's why Live with Kelly and Mark continues to thrive. Not just because of the segments or the guests or the celebrity interviews, but because people tune in and feel like they're catching up with a family they actually know. The ripple effects of this family's year extend well beyond the personal. For Live with Kelly and Mark, this season has reinforced exactly what makes the show enduring. At a time when daytime television is evolving rapidly, when audiences are migrating to streaming and social media, Live continues to hold its ground because it offers something algorithmic content simply can't replicate. Human connection, authentic moments, a morning ritual that feels like community. The Consuelos children are also becoming their own cultural conversation. Lola's music career is gaining real traction. Joaquin's Broadway debut has placed him firmly in the entertainment world his family helped build. And Michael, working behind the scenes, is quietly shaping stories for millions of viewers. The next chapter for this family isn't a winding down. It's an expansion, a legacy in real time. In Hollywood, longevity is the rarest luxury. Careers fade, headlines move on, and love stories, real ones, are harder to find than anyone admits. But Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have built something that transcends celebrity. They've built a life, a real, messy, beautiful, grief-touched, joy-filled, Broadway-lit life. And they've done it in front of all of us, without pretending it was easy, without pretending it was perfect. This past year, they lost a patriarch. They watched their children rise. They held each other through the hard mornings and showed up anyway, on camera, on stage, and in every quiet moment the cameras couldn't catch. And somehow through all of it, they're still the couple that makes you believe in commitment, in partnership, in the kind of love that gets stronger, not weaker, when real life arrives. That's not a Hollywood story. That's just a story about people. So here's what I want to know. What moment from Kelly and Mark's family story this year moved you the most? Was it the Broadway debuts, the emotional tribute to Mark's father, or Lola stepping into the spotlight with her music? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this celebrity update, subscribe for more entertainment news and Hollywood stories. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a thing, and we'll see you in the next one.